Over the past few days, people are continuing to wonder what the future will look like with school and COVID. As you probably know, the band was quarantined twice in 1 month, leaving us with uncertainty for a marching season. Plus, hand sanitizer can be one of the solutions to fighting germs. We meet a freshman who developed his own hand sanitizer. He will explain how this product came to be. Welcome back to another episode of WTHS News. I am Olivia Grace Buchanan. It is no secret that the band has been quarantined 2 times in 1 month. Because of a new policy, many of the band members were able to return after 2 days. Ava discusses more about these high-speed changes.
One and ready, and go.
Last week, when 3 members of the Tupelo High School band tested positive for COVID-19, all band activities screeched to a halt. This is due to the policy that states that any group with 3 or more positive cases is considered an outbreak. Quarantines are especially hard on band, a group that values in-person contact.
There's no substitute for being able to practice with a group, though, and so much of what we do is a team activity. You can't replicate that team activity in a virtual environment.
This was band's 2nd mass quarantine since the beginning of the school year, and students weren't happy about it.
I was pretty upset because they had already quarantined the band the first week of school, and we didn't get to come our first day. And then we barely had like a full week of school, and then we got quarantined again, so I was pretty much upset.
With students quarantined, the band hall was empty and quiet. But when the policy changed, the hall roared back to life in an instant. The new policy states that a group of 40 or more people will only have to quarantine if 10% of the group tests positive.
When Coach Miller came and told me about the policy, I was just ecstatic. I was elated. It allows us to operate for the rest of the year without the fear of a shutdown every 2 weeks.
Last year, COVID-19 and quarantines prevented the band from competing, but this year is different, and band will be able to compete.
We actually have the chance at competition this year, and so we're actually working towards something, whereas last year was very stagnant and seemed as though we had nothing really to go off of and very lazy, and now we have an actual goal to work towards.
Even though it's now less likely for everyone in the band to be quarantined, some individual students will face quarantines.
As a staff, we have made up our minds that we're going to teach the kids that are in front of us. There's always things we can improve on. There's always things that we can practice. So we just focus on the students that are in front of us, and the show goes on.
Ava Lacey, WTHS News.
Thank you, Ava. Although students were hoping for normalcy, this will be Tupelo High School's 2nd year in not participating in an in-person club fair. Assistant Principal Adria Sparkman said they decided to do a virtual club fair so everybody could have a chance to sign up for clubs, whether you're at school or quarantined. She also said that it was the safest way to conduct the club fair. The virtual club fair wrapped up Thursday.
I do miss it being in person. I miss everything being in person. I miss everything how it was before COVID. If I could go back to the in-person, I would.
Virtually, it's kind of hard because you don't know who you're going to be in there with, who's going to be running it, or anything like that, so it's a little bit more difficult to know what you're going to be doing and have fun at it.
We are 1 week away from our first home football game, which means we are also 1 week away from our first pep rally ever since 2019. Maddie has more for us in sports.
Hey Tupelo High School, I'm Maddie James with this week's sports. Last week, THS varsity football had their first game on Friday at Lafayette. The Wave defeated the Commodores with a score of 5-3. The Wave will play Saltillo tonight at 7. Cross country traveled to Florence last Saturday for the Brooks Invitational. The JV girls team placing first, JV boys placing second, varsity boys placing third, and varsity girls taking fourth. Top individual performances include Abby Sanders and Andrew Brown, taking first place in the JV events, as well as Brooklyn Morgan and Jaheim Bridges placing second overall in their varsity races.
Being able to place is a big accomplishment considering the competition against the Alabama runners. So running the time that I did allowed me to be in the #1 spot for juniors in Mississippi, so I'm really proud of that accomplishment.
Lady Wave Volleyball also had a game this past week against Pontotoc. The Wave went on to defeat the Warriors with a score of 3-0. Be sure to check back for more sports updates. I'm Maddie James, WTHS Sports Media.
Thanks, Maddie. I am so looking forward to tonight's game. COVID numbers are rising, but Thomas Roper has a solution to staying germ-free. Over the past year, he has developed his own hand sanitizer. His business was able to take off with the help of his mom.
This year, Tupelo High School was introduced to a 9th grade student full of passion and enthusiasm. Thomas Roper started his own business at the age of 13 called Roper Brands. His mom plays an important role behind the scenes of making sure everything runs smoothly.
He just came up to me one night. I can remember I was watching television with my husband and he walked up to me. He was like, "I'm going to start a business."
Roper Brands was created close to the start of the pandemic, but it has continued to grow with each new product and idea Thomas comes up with.
So basically, right when COVID kind of picked back up last year, I had lots of buyers. Our busiest has been, of course, right when I opened, and we had a lot of Christmas buyers and some spring buyers.
As a very small business, Roper Brands does not have a physical location or a website. So one of the ways Thomas is able to reach a wider audience is through setting up pop-ups at local shops.
I've really liked going to the pop-ups and having multiple shops in Tupelo having asked me, you know, hey, let's come do a pop-up at our store this weekend. And it's been very fun seeing people that come in and buy and just all that good stuff.
Although Thomas made a name for himself long before coming to the high school, since the start of the school year, he has already become a member of Madrigals, cross country, and was elected as a 9th grade class officer. He is also very involved in Tupelo Community Theater and has starred in several plays over the past years. His outgoing personality and determination has helped him tremendously as a young entrepreneur.
I've always seen Thomas on the stage singing and acting and knew that was his talent and his love and his niche, but to see him kind of explore and do different things in kind of a graphic arena and marketing arena, I thought that was really cool to see how he grew from that standpoint, because that's not anything I really anticipated out of Thomas.
Thomas definitely has lots of accomplishments to be proud of. You can follow Roper Brands on Instagram to keep up with new product releases and pop-ups. I'm Meri Alan Wolfe, WTHS News.
Thanks, Meri Alan. I'm sure Thomas will inspire others to accomplish their goals. That's all we have for this week. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media. Thanks for watching this week's edition of WTHS News. Enjoy the 3-day-long weekend.